we will actually tell you our predictions about the prices of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and all the rest that you're interested in.
It's going to get juicy in the coming months.
Do you mean to tell me that I'm not going to be an overnight millionaire with my $1,000 investment in Bitcoin and Ethereum? It's pumpamentals, not fundamentals at all.
We're going to show you when to exit the market so you don't become the exit liquidity.
Dragon and I disagree on one thing about the crypto market, and it's huge. 15K Ethereum by the end of the bull cycle. Why? Today you'll find out. Hello friends, I'm Stan here with airdrops.com, and I'm very happy to say that finally we get to sit down with Dragon, and we're in for an interesting conversation today. Where is this bull market gonna go? How far can we reach? And are we gonna turn out to be the exit liquidity again of the whales? No, nada.
Not again.
We will actually tell you our predictions about the prices of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and all the rest that you're interested in. So let's kick it off. Dragan, very happy to have you here. Welcome back.
Very happy to see you together, and we're going to give you a very great advices here. Also, at the end of the video, we're going to show you when to exit the market so you don't become the exit liquidity, as Stan said, which is very crucial. All right.
Let's start this one now. First, let me start with the cycle that we are in right now. We're in this bull cycle, and as far as I've heard and read, there are 4 phases of this cycle. What are these according to your research? What are the 4 phases of the cycle?
Yeah, of course. This is the path actually to altcoin season, which we've been following so far, even in the previous cycles. And it goes like the first phase goes. Bitcoin makes higher highs. The money moves into Bitcoin, which causes new all-time highs. And then when the smart money chooses to take profit, then the profit rotates to Ethereum, which is the phase 2. And right now, I think we're in this phase 2 because we're seeing Ethereum dominance rising, and which means Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, which is very important for this altcoin season, which we are going to get into very quickly, and it's going to be really fun. And when whales are going to get the profits from Ethereum, they're going to rotate them into the large cap like Solana, like BNB and Cardano. Like for example, in 2017, Ethereum did only 300%, and for that same period of time, XRP did 1500%.
Ooh, that's a dramatic difference there in performance.
Exactly. And when these whales start to take profit from the large caps, from the phase 3, then we're going to into the real altcoin season, where meme coins are going to skyrocket. Like we had Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, all that kind of stuff, and here everything pumps. Like no matter the fundamentals, every coin pumps. Like bread, Shiba Inu, every those Dogecoins and etc. Whatever you think of.
So that's phase 4, where
That's
it's
the phase 4.
fundamentals, not fundamentals at all.
Exactly.
And if you have to outline what stage of this cycle are we in right now, what would you say? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4?
Exactly. As I said, we're currently, as Ethereum's dominance is at 13%, which grew from 7% to 13% in 1 month. So I think that right now we're at the phase 2. So it's great for the viewers that we're in the phase 2, as we can position ourselves into the altcoin season, which this time it's the perfect time, I think. And then it's going to get like the large caps are going to outperform Bitcoin, Ethereum, like Litecoin maybe is going to jump pretty high, Solana, BNB, such coins like the large caps. So it's going to get juicy in the coming months.
Not financial advice though.
It's not financial advice. This was for entertainment purposes only.
Yes, just 2 degenerates trying to feel out where the market is gonna go.
Exactly.
Well, let's try and actually do some projections in the future in terms of pricing. Let's take a look at the total market, and how far is it capable of going. Right now we're sitting at what, about $4 trillion? Is that
Something
correct?
less than 4 trillion, but yeah, at $4 trillion.
Yeah, let me check out the chart here. All right, so as you can see here on the chart that I'm sharing with you, Bitcoin sitting at 3.9 trillion, not Bitcoin, but the total market cap.
Total market cap, exactly.
Sitting around $3.9 trillion. How many X's could it go from here until the end of the bull cycle? Let's try and extrapolate. And for that purpose, I will take, let's say, the same time period, August of 2021. Let's see where it was at that time and how far it went up to November of the same. All right, the total market cap was sitting comfortably around $1.5 trillion, and then it skyrocketed to $3 trillion in November. Within just a few months, that's what, 3-4 months, less than that?
Well, less than that, maybe 2.5 months.
Yeah.
It doubled in the market cap, and right now we're sitting at $3.9 trillion, as you said. And if we, in the next 2.5 months, if we double that, we're seeing the total crypto market cap at $8 trillion, which is that's the conservative.
$8 trillion
project.
is a conservative estimate, you would say.
Yes, I think so.
All right, then what are your more optimistic, what is your vision in terms of more optimistic
I think we can
prognosis?
easily reach even $10 trillion, which is a pretty neutral zone and a psychological zone, which is a number 10, and think we can actually go easily at that zone there. But we can also do, which is pretty optimistic, we can go to $12 trillion. So yeah, we'll see how it unfolds. And many people say that this 4-year cycle is dead, but so far we are following it so perfectly. And as we can see here in this chart from the sine waves theory, we can see this 4-year cycle is not dead, and we can disagree on this if we don't top on November 28, 2025. So if Bitcoin reaches the top at November 28th, we can definitely say, well, this 4-year cycle is completely dead. But so far, I think the 4-year cycle is not dead, and then we can reach new all-time highs, and we have like 2.5 months until then to make that total crypto market cap to $10 trillion.
Okay, so now that we are taking a look at our estimates for the market cap of the total crypto market and how far it could go by the end of this cycle, you're saying that a conservative estimate is about $8 trillion?
$8 trillion, yeah.
Okay. This is where we kind of disagree. I tend to be a little bit more pessimistic, a little bit more conservative in that regard. And I would say my worst case scenario would be $6 trillion. Again,
Which is not bad.
Still not bad, still almost 50% from here. That's a great return as well. But I do not forget, and this is why I can see why you're leaning more optimistic. I don't forget that we're in for some rate cuts, possibly. What's Jay Powell gonna do? And is he actually gonna still be the chair of the Fed? What do you think?
Of course, so far he is still the chair of the Fed, and I think that the job report that came out last month a little bit shook the economy, and maybe Powell is going to go in for the rate cuts, which Trump suggests that he should do it immediately, but he is not doing it. And since the job report came out, I think the probabilities of a rate cut that we can get in September was 92%, and right now it's at around 84%, which is still pretty high. And if we get that rate cut in September, that means the borrowing can get cheaper, and we're going to get liquidity in the market, which we're going to see prices skyrocket from here on. So I think the probability that we get a rate cut is going to be pretty high in September, and we're going to get a lot of liquidity injected into the market.
And one more point that kind of supports your thesis about rate cuts is, as I was coming here on the way here, I was scrolling Twitter, and I stumbled upon this UBS report, the Swiss bank, major institution, and they were claiming, according to their research, that the US economy is actually slowing down. There are already signs of a downturn, and this has to be remedied somehow. And we know how the Fed does it every single time, by
We've seen it before.
turning on the printer. The money printer is going to go brrr again and again and again.
Of course, and it's going to get pretty interesting for the altcoins.
Let's take a look first at the Bitcoin price projections that we have. And first, now that we have our estimates of the total market cap, let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance.
Exactly.
It's currently sitting around 60%, yeah?
Exactly, yes, the 60%.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, we are in this Ethereum second phase of the cycle now. So it is reasonable that we expect Ethereum dominance to grow, and in the same time, the Bitcoin dominance to drop. In typical altcoin seasons, the Bitcoin dominance, as far as I've seen, drops to about 40%. We can actually see it on the chart here. I've prepared it for us. Let me...
Yeah, 40% is a zone that Bitcoin can drop to.
So yeah, as we can see here, 40%. Yeah, it may be slightly under that, but
let's take it 40%.
It's a nice round number, and Bitcoin could hit 40% of dominance. That means with the supply that we have in Bitcoin, that's almost 20 million right now, because the others haven't been minted yet. We're going to have a Bitcoin market cap of about $3.2 trillion. That's what our simple model here says. This is, of course, given the more, let's say, realistic case scenario where the market cap reaches $8 trillion. That's 2x from now, as we saw the previous bull cycle. And that shows that Bitcoin price would be around 160K. A price that has been touted by many analysts already for months during this cycle. But the Bitcoin is not even the most interesting part in an altcoin season, right?
Yeah, that's...
It's the smaller ones that we're looking for, and Ethereum.
Let's see Ethereum, how much it's going to be worth at $8 trillion.
Let's check out what the Ethereum dominance is right now, by the way.
As I said, it's around 13%.
Around 13? All right.
13%.
Again, it makes sense that as the Bitcoin dominance goes down, the Ethereum dominance could actually grow to 20%. It has grown to that number.
When Bitcoin goes to 40%, Ethereum rises to at around 20%.
Yeah, and
which, let's say, it's going to repeat this cycle again. We're going to probably see Ethereum dominance at 20%, and let's see how much the price is going to be projected for the realistic $8 trillion total market cap.
Yeah, let me adjust here the estimates in the Excel sheet. Well, at a 20% Ethereum dominance, we have an Ethereum market cap of $1.6 trillion, which doesn't sound bad. And let's take a look at the price. The Ethereum price is over $13,000 in this realistic case scenario that we mentioned. We're not even taking the optimistic case, but let's be brave and go for that one. First, we need to edit the
5 digits for Ethereum price.
It's insane. We've never seen it before.
Is it going to happen? Tell us down below in the comments. Or you think it's not going to reach that price. But let's see what does it say for the optimistic $12 trillion market cap.
Well, 20K Ethereum, just a little underneath that. I think that's insane, to be honest. Yeah, you know, I lean a little bit more conservative. But still, it's wishful thinking, in my opinion. Anyways, that's according to our model here. And the last one we can take a look, let's not drag this out too much, is Solana. Solana, given its historic dominance that we've seen at most, it reaches about 4%. We're going to put in 3.8 in the model here. And we've extracted the supply from CoinMarketCap. Now let's take the, again, realistic scenario of $8 trillion. And according to that realistic scenario, Solana could hit $563.
Finally.
Which my bags wouldn't mind at all, I'm telling you. So these are the projections basically that we have. We can play around with the model here. We can change the assumptions for the conservative or for the optimistic case scenario as much as we want. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to try to keep it short. All right, so let's move on from here. Where do we go from here? What's next?
Okay, you've known our targets for the altcoins, for Ethereum and Solana. So the most important thing is people forget to take profit. They're going to think prices are going to jump infinitely and then they are going to become millionaires overnight. But the real truth is that you should take profit, and when to take profit. So here, as I said, the 4-year cycle is not that, and we can prove that by, if you take profits, as you can see here, it says that on November 28, 2025, Bitcoin is going to reach the top. So I think at around that time, we should be carefully thinking about taking profits, whether the prices have risen 10x or 20x, that does not matter, but you should start being cautious here. Also, another thing that we're going to show you here is one tool from CoinGlass, which is consisted of 30 indicators that actually tell you to sell at the top.
Oh yeah, that one's beautiful. Yeah, let's take a look at it.
Right now, 0 out of 30 of these indicators show that you should sell. So that means we're at the perfect time for the altcoin season.
It's not investment advice, it's just the indicators that say...
We're showing you the data.
Yeah, of course. All right. So what do you mean to tell me that I'm not going to be an overnight millionaire with my $1,000 investment in Bitcoin and Ethereum?
Sorry to break it down for you.
Come on. All right.
Yeah.
We'll have to try harder then with our investments.
Should go into those trenches in the meme coins to try and
boy.
gamble.
Yes, let me open Dex screen right now. Anyways,
Yeah.
Do we have anything else on the agenda for today?
I think that's it for now. You know, we're at the perfect time. You know when to exit the market. So I think you're prepared for this altcoin season perfectly.
All right, so I'll see you at the moon, guys. It was a pleasure to have Dragan here and myself and to have this conversation and this little presentation for you with our assumptions. We hope you enjoyed it, and join us next time for some more degenerate alpha dropping here on the airdrops.com channel. In the meantime, like this video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.
Ciao.